Hey, Shalom, Akim, Shalom, Kahalo, Yahweh, Bashim, Yahushua, Bashim, Dash. Was in double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Much peace, love, and salutations to Yakim out there pushing the word of sincerity and truth. This is Brother Aliella. And on this lesson, I just want to do just a real quick lesson and talk about, you know, all media is media and propaganda is used in all media. I want brothers to be mindful of all the media and the propaganda that's being pushed out right now, on all news wires, not just the mainstream media, but alternative media, what you see on YouTube, what you see on Facebook, the things that we see on these different sites, Zero Hedge, or Drudge Report. It's all propaganda. The information that they're receiving, the information that they are putting out is used for them to get clicks, for them to get money and advertising funds, just as the mainstream media. And a lot of these people that purport themselves as specialists or leaders in any type of topic is the same way that the people on CNN and Fox News say that they are, you know, thought leaders in whatever topic it may be. And especially right now with coronavirus, vaccinations, the presidential elections, and things that are going on, you're going to have Esau utilize all media, whether it's Dabu 7, whether it's Fox News, all media is being utilized to create a narrative that Esau wants to use. This is Esau's world. And he's using all the tools that he's been given to create all manner of confusion. In Ezekiel, the 7th chapter, in the 26th verse, it says, Mischief shall come upon mischief, and rumor shall be upon rumor. And they shall seek a vision of the prophet, but the law shall perish from the priest, and the counsel from the ancients. Anytime that you got tumults happening in the world, all types of stuff going on in the world, you're going to have rumors flying, events happening here, events happening there, and people are going to have their opinions on it. The main thing that we have to make sure to keep our mind and focus on is the prophecies. How things necessarily going to play out and what's going on with this and that, we don't know. So don't get emotionally entangled in any piece of propaganda, any piece of media. We look at what Esau's got going on, but protect your mind, okay? There's a lot of stuff that's being put out there just to mess with you, man. Just to mess with your head. And you have to keep that at the forefront of your mind, okay? A lot of this stuff is a bunch of BS. And so we have to remain mindful. Here in 1 Peter 5 and 8, it says, Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. And, he can utilize Satan, and Esau is utilizing the media to lie, to create propaganda, to create false thoughts, because that's where power lies. Everything comes first as an idea, and if he can implant the right types of ideas in your mind, he can create the type of fear, doubt, uncertainty, and distractions necessary to get you off your course. So we just got to be mindful. We got to be mindful of all that stuff, man. Salaki, I can. There's another video. We got to be mindful of all that stuff, okay? Now, Psalms 144 and 8, it says, whose mouth speaketh vanity, and their right hand is the right hand of falsehood. I will sing a new song unto thee, O power, upon the psaltery, and the instrument of 10 strings will I sing praises unto thee. It is he that giveth salvation unto kings, who delivered David his servant from the hurtful sword. Rid me and deliver me from the hand of strange children, whose mouth speaketh vanity, and their right hand is the right hand of falsehood. And Esau's right hand is the right hand of falsehood. So the internet and everything in it, we have to be mindful that it's a tool that Esau has power over. Okay? He has the power over what you see when you click on Google, when you go on YouTube, when you click on Facebook, when you go on Instagram, when you go on Twitter. everything has been contrived, and the systems and mechanisms of merchandise, he's made it to where you gotta follow certain rules. This is why these certain Israelite groups act the way they act, and this is why certain alternative media sites act the way they act, because they have to keep profitability in Esau's kingdom. There's a reason why you see Dabu 7 and all these other uh, alternative media pundits. They keep their pages, but us, then we're not even YouTube monetized. Our pages get snatched up. Why? Because our pages are spiritually discerned. Their pages are being utilized by left hand powers to push random information. Dabu 7 might receive a piece of information that's completely fake, completely made up, and he pushes it. Why? Because it fits the alternative media agenda and what people would consider clickable. And so we have to be mindful that everything is being utilized in this kingdom for wickedness, and make sure that we remain spiritually discerned. Now, this article here on Quartz, it says the internet is as much about affirmation as information, and we have to make sure that we're not just agreeing with articles and videos and memes because it affirms what we feel. Because we know Esau is wicked and he's evil. Any piece of information that affirms how we feel, we use it as information. When a lot of this stuff is BS, especially right now, because information, data, is a weapon right now. You know, it used to be that oil and energy was the major catalyst for who controlled the world. Now, data is the new oil as we come into the fourth industrial revolution. So we have to be mindful of that. Now, looking at this, is an article written back in January 18th, 2019. It says, the framing of the term fake news orients you towards thinking whether a claim is true or false. By this logic, it assumes that people share things online because they're 100% concerned about accuracy, but people share because of deeper political allegiances and viewpoints. In places like China, Uganda, Mexico, and the United States, memes can fuse new narratives in society and influence international media discourse in powerful ways. Activists utilize their power to draw attention and build communities around issues that might otherwise be ignored or censored. But memes also play a key role in the spread of both misinformation and disinformation. And many of those narratives can themselves be highly destructive and manipulative. And so we want to make sure that we don't get caught up in the manipulation tactics of Esau with his information, maybe on vaccines, whether right or wrong. Like, you know, they'll say, "Oh man, this has got this going on, and this has got that going on." You know, the government is trying to make us. You know, when we look at this information, we have to understand that it's being utilized to create an argument. It's being utilized to create chaos. So, although we know Esau has an agenda, a lot of the information that they putting out here on whether, you know, take the vaccine, don't take the vaccine. A lot of the information on both sides is controlled by the Satan. And he's utilizing it because he is the right hand of falsehood, and this internet is one of his tools. And he wants chaos so he can come in and say, hey, because of all this chaos, we need to do this. So us as the prophets, we're simply sitting back and telling everybody, according to prophecy, all of this is going on to produce this in the end. And we want to make sure that we're mindful of not getting our own minds entangled with a bunch of BS, and we're not just pushing out information that's a bunch of BS. Okay? We want to be mindful of that. And so, you know, I'm just bringing this out to bring a balanced viewpoint of all the media that's been coming out lately on the elections, on Maxine, on everything that's going on. We want to make sure to maintain a balanced viewpoint of what's really going on. Okay, now when you go to Psalms 36:1, it says, "The transgression of the wicked saith within my heart that there is no fear of the Most High before his eyes. For he flattereth himself in his own eyes until his iniquity be found to be hateful. The words of his mouth are iniquity and deceit. He hath left off to be wise and to do good. He deviseth mischief upon his bed. He setteth himself in a way that is not good. He abhorreth not evil." Knowing this, we have to understand that anything you click on the internet, anything that we search on the internet, we have to take with a grain of salt and make sure that we completely filter it through the scriptures, and that even if we might have a certain opinion about certain things that we see, certain things that are being said, that we know that, hey, all this media that we're seeing is, look, if they want to censor it, they'll censor it. That's why they censor us so hardcore. You can hardly Google Great Millstone, and that's very purposeful. Even though we produce the most videos out of everybody, we're very hard to Google on YouTube. But these guys that have one page, 2 pages, they pop right up. And then you got these guys that are so-called threats. They pages are not getting taken down. Ain't nobody taking down AMTV. He'll just come on, say whatever he needs to say about the government. He been talking about all this stuff. They ain't taking his page down. Why? Because we have the truth. We have the spiritual discernment that's filtering everything. And so we are truly a threat. Christopher Green is not a threat. Dabu 7 is not a threat. X22 report is not a threat. The information that those guys are receiving from all the people that come on there, listen. Esau see these dudes. They know what's going on. They're not unaware. All the information that these guys are receiving from David Icke and Alex Jones, the right hand of falsehood is at play. So yeah, there's things out of there. We know Esau's wicked. We know the mechanism of his intention is wicked. But at the same time, don't get caught up in your mind with the news. And sometimes brothers need to back off from the news. A lot of that news is just bullshit. I tell brothers, don't wake up looking at who shot Pookie and, Lakeisha and them with her baby daddy issues. You don't want to wake up every day with that. You want to wake up with thinking about your relationship with Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Yeah, are we the watchmen? Do we go into these things and talk about it? Of course. But be mindful. Esau is utilizing this stuff to get in your head and get you to have a spirit of fearfulness, get you to have a spirit of doubt, uncertainty. And it works more than you think, because it plays out in the decisions that we make in our daily life. So we want to be mindful, okay? And now when it comes to all the bigger issues of World War III, Mark of the Beast, we see these things that's happening, like even the vaccine. We see that that's a gradual approach to something, and that's another lesson that we'll go in on. But the test has the microchip in it. We don't know. It might. We don't know that though. Okay. I feel personally like that's extremely inefficient and unpredictable. And if I wanted to chip everybody, I would use a system that's more efficient to make sure it's done. But people out here pushing that. People out here pushing this. We know that these systems and the regulatory things that's coming around it is headed toward the microchip. But exactly how they doing it, we don't know. Only thing we can tell you, stay away from it. Don't get involved. We know it ain't right. Okay? But we have to be mindful of what we actually soak in as truth. Because a lot of this stuff is misinformation and disinformation to create chaos. Don't get caught up in that chaos. Okay? So I just wanted to put that out there for Akian to be mindful. And the news is going to increase, but we have to understand all of it is media, all of it is propaganda. All these people want to get clicks and get profitability. It's all underneath these Esau's realm of falsehood. So be mindful, okay? Call halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem Akal HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Much peace, love, and salutation to y'all came out there pushing the word and sincerity and truth. Shalom.